Paul just got brutally knocked down in a random sparring session, and it looks like this might be the final farewell to whatever was left of his so-called boxing career. Now, I know KOs don't normally end careers, but hey, a broken rib just might do the trick. And trust me, the level of intensity doctors are talking about here. Either it's all made up to call off the fight as a sneaky excuse, or, who knows, maybe Jake's actually in pain for once.
There's no way I would want to do that. Okay, let me get that.
I mean, when you've got Mike Tyson standing across from you in the ring, broken bones aren't exactly shocking, right? But of course, like always, all the clips and juicy news are mysteriously vanishing from the internet. Don't worry though, I've dug deep into the dark corners to bring you the truth no one else wants you to see.
That's good, bro. Good work.
So here's how it all spiraled downhill for Jake Paul. It wasn't just another day at the gym for Jake on September 8th, 2024, when he decided to hop in the ring with Mike Tyson. That was no big deal. Yeah, Tyson. The same guy who's been throwing punches since the 80s like he's making his own remix to Eye of the Tiger. It was supposed to be a casual sparring session. You know, just some light punches, get the sweat going, maybe take a couple of Instagram stories afterward, right? Wrong. Instead, it ended with Jake Paul being carted off to the hospital, ribcage shattered, pride even more so.
So guys, I'm in the hospital. I had an accident.
And here's the kicker. Tyson wasn't even in full Hulk mode. He wasn't out there trying to recreate the 90s, throwing wild haymakers or going for the kill. No, this was just Jake being Jake. If you've seen the guy lately, it's not hard to figure out why. He's been looking more like a late-night party animal than a boxing contender. The insider gossip from that session? Jake was dragging himself around the ring like he'd just rolled out of bed, sluggish, totally out of shape. Tyson landed a clean shot, nothing crazy, and that's when the wheels fell off. One clean punch, and suddenly Jake's rib is screaming, "I quit." The internet, as it does, went nuts. Social media lit up faster than a Christmas tree at Rockefeller Center. Everyone had their theories. Some people started speculating that Tyson was out for blood, taking some sweet revenge for all the trash Jake's been spewing lately. But the real experts, the ones who actually know what's up, like Freddie Roach, they're shutting down the drama. Freddie straight up said, "Mike didn't break the kid's rib on purpose. The guy just wasn't ready for it." Translation: Jake wasn't prepared, not even a little, to face Tyson, even on a slow day.
And I'm only growing. You know, like I think I'll get up to 240 and then probably cut downs. So I'm like way fast.
And that's when Jake's condition really took a nosedive. The second he hit the mat, it was clear something was seriously wrong. He was clutching his side like his entire ribcage had turned into a jigsaw puzzle. His team rushed him off to Cedars-Sinai, where, surprise, surprise, the docs confirmed the worst, serious rib injury. Dr. Jonathan Gelber, the sports medicine guru, weighed in saying, "A broken rib isn't some minor inconvenience. We're talking weeks, maybe months of healing. And for Jake, this could be career-ending if he's not smart about it." Smart, Jake Paul? Yeah, that's a combo we're still waiting to see. While Jake's lying in a hospital bed, probably thinking, "How did I get here?" The boxing world is buzzing with one big question. Is this the end of Jake Paul's boxing career? Some fans are already betting that Jake won't be stepping back into the ring anytime soon, or ever. And honestly, they're probably not wrong.
That Mike gonna make his money. I really do love that Mike is gonna make his money. But to me, it's some baby back BS, man. You got Jake Paul, who just fought some dude last weekend, was a minus 2,500 underdog to Jake Paul. It doesn't happen like that. This guy speaks of building himself as a true fighter. Him fighting a 57-year-old Mike Tyson doesn't do that. I don't love that outside of the fact that Mike gets to make some money.
And let's be real, Jake Paul's trash talk was about as relentless as a TikTok trend that just won't die. The guy's got something to say about everyone, all the time, and it's usually about as pleasant as stepping on a Lego barefoot. Whether he's behind a mic at a press conference or furiously tapping away at his phone, Jake's always got the hot take, and it's usually aimed at the biggest names in combat sports. Tyson, Canelo, McGregor, you name a legend, and Jake's probably thrown some shade their way. It's like the guy's on a mission to poke every bear in the zoo. But sadly, that's not exactly the smartest strategy when the bears in question are Mike Tyson and company.
I'm not a Jake Paul hater. I just don't like the matchup, and I also love Mike Tyson.
Now, leading up to that fateful sparring session with Tyson, Jake's mouth was running at warp speed. It wasn't just a jab here or there either. No, Jake went all in. He called Tyson old and outdated, like the man didn't build his entire career off turning people's lights out faster than a power outage. And because Jake can't help himself, he decided to one-up the insult by claiming Tyson couldn't keep up with modern fighters. Really, Jake? I mean, have you seen Tyson train? The man still moves like he's got a DeLorean parked outside, ready to take him back to his prime.
Mike Tyson Netflix card.
So naturally, the question everyone's asking is, did Jake's big mouth finally cash a check his body couldn't cover? Did all that trash talk flip some kind of Hulk smash switch in Tyson's brain? Or was this just a long overdue lesson in humility for Jake? According to some folks in the gym, Tyson wasn't even planning to go hard on Jake at first, just some light work, nothing too crazy. But then Jake had to go and open his mouth again about how Tyson's best days are behind him. And well, we all know what happens when you push the wrong buttons. Suddenly, Tyson wasn't pulling his punches quite as much. Now, whether that KO rib shot was intentional or just the unfortunate result of Jake's body being made out of tissue paper is still up for debate. But here's the thing. Jake's nonstop trash talk definitely didn't do him any favors. And while Jake was busy counting the ceiling tiles in the hospital, guess who was definitely not feeling sorry for him? Yep, Canelo Alvarez and Conor McGregor. Oh no, these two were practically fighting for the front row seats to roast Jake. Canelo, who Jake had the nerve to call out just weeks before, wasted no time. He hit up social media to casually drop, "Oof, that's gotta sting." Then, of course, McGregor, always one to never miss a good trolling opportunity, jumps in with,
If you put them together in the ring with me, maybe it's gonna.
Maybe both together.
Maybe it's
Maybe
gonna
it's
be
tough.
a little complicated.
But one or the other, they're
Yeah,
about the
at
same,
this
you think?
time, yeah.
They're just-
brutal, right? These guys didn't just roast Jake, they slow-cooked him over an open fire of public humiliation. The irony is almost too good. The very fighters Jake had the audacity to go after are now practically throwing parades over his downfall. Meanwhile, Jake's lying in a hospital bed trying to figure out where it all went wrong. The same mouth that he used to bulldoze his way into the boxing world is now coming back to bite him harder than anything Tyson ever threw.
Gone against people where the odds are even. Canelo just fought Caleb Plant as like a 1,400 favorite. You know, Gervonta Davis in his 8th fight fought.
Speaking of Canelo and Conor, their reactions to Jake's injury? Absolute savage mode. Jake was out here talking all kinds of smack about how he was ready to fight Canelo. But after the rib incident, Canelo wasn't having it. He straight up said in an interview with DAZN, "Jake's dreaming. He doesn't belong in the ring with me, not now, not ever." Meanwhile, McGregor, never one to miss a trolling opportunity, posted a video saying, maybe after he recovers, he can get a rematch with that hospital bed. Brutal. These guys weren't just clowning him. They were making it crystal clear that Jake's fantasy of fighting them is exactly that, a fantasy. And while Jake's lying in a hospital bed icing his bruised ego, the rest of the boxing world is moving on. The fans who once bought into the hype are starting to get wise to the fact that Jake's more sizzle than steak. Even Stephen A. Smith, who gave Jake some props for bringing attention to the sport, is starting to change his tune. The day after Jake's injury, Smith said, "If you've lost Stephen A., you've lost just about everyone."
problem is you are beating up on dudes who don't box. They're not boxers. Nate Robinson was a basketball player. Ben Askren came out there, looked like with a pose, looking like he Jake LaMotta. He was 19-1 in the UFC, but he was never a boxer. He was a grappler. And Tyron Woodley's a striker.
Meanwhile,
Jake's whole shtick, being the underdog, the YouTuber turned boxer who was making waves in the sport, is falling apart. With this injury, his story is starting to unravel faster than one of his viral TikTok challenges. The knockdown and hospital trip might be the sign that Jake's boxing career was never built to last. Just like other fighters who tried to power through injuries and failed, guys like Ricky Hatton, who retired after a devastating loss, Jake might be facing a harsh reality check way sooner than he expected. So while Jake's busy dreaming of comeback fights and epic redemption arcs, the truth is staring him right in the face. That broken rib isn't just about healing, it's about whether his career can recover at all.